Well, hello and welcome to Papa Woody's shop. I'm Woody, and today I'm going to be working on a 61 unibody. I'm still working on trying to get parts and pieces from the 2005 Crown Vic stuck in that truck. I'm just piecing stuff in there. Today I'm going to try to get the heater and AC stuck underneath the dash. It's gonna be a bit of a process. I'm gonna have to cut pieces and just try to figure out how to get it up under here. Hold on one second, I'll get turned around here. So this is the unit out of the car. It is big and it is bulky, and quite frankly it's ugly, and I need to try to get it under that little bitty dash. I've already tried to fit it, I think I have a plan for what I'm gonna try to do. I'll just kind of go over it with you real quick. Okay, so this section right here is vents, dash vents in the car, and then this piece here is for the back seat. It goes into another plastic piece that in the Crown Vic it goes underneath the front driver's and passenger seat and blows air to the feet of the passengers in the back seat. Then this is defrost. So, and then there's some little holes over here for the feet up front. So what I'm having right now is try to get this under there, and this piece right here hits the dash, and I don't need this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off. And I'm going to I don't need this piece that supplies air to the back seat, so I'm going to cut it off. Try to get this cleaned up. I gotta have defrost, obviously, and then I gotta have something blowing, out, at least out the middle to our feet or whatnot. I think I'll be okay with that. This cab of this truck's not that big, so anyway. That's what I'm gonna get started doing, just cutting this off and try to get it cleaned up, and then I'm gonna mock it, try to get it up underneath there and see what it looks like. Okay, we got this thing in the shop here, and I was fixing to cut this off. I noticed that there's a couple of small bolts here, and then this thing just unbolts. This little vacuum actuator operates this. You can see that moving, and so that flap is to direct all the heat to the dash. And like I said, I'm cutting this off, so I don't need this one, and I can get that later, mold this door shut. So I'm gonna get this actuator, this little actuator off, and I got started, and I'm like, oh, I should be videotaping this. What am I doing? Anyway, so that's the little actuator, and then and voila, just like that. It was a lot easier the second time around. Anyway, got that off. So I'm gonna get this guy completely taken off of there. There is difficult for you guys to see what I'm doing here, but it has a little, I don't know if you can see in there. Probably not. Anyway, it has a little keeper holding that thing on. I'm gonna have to get in there and get that disconnected. I'll be right back. That took me a second. You wouldn't have wanted to watch that. It was a struggle. Luckily, I'm not putting it back together because I broke it. There's a little, I don't know, a little, well, you can see it's a little strange clip. It's got to be pinched and then pushed, and there's not enough room for my hands in there. And so anyway, I broke it. Luckily, I'm working on top of a trash can, so let's throw it in the trash. I'll save this little actuator. Anyway, so move some of this stuff in there. And so where am I at here? Okay, got that piece off. This is the bottom that had feet, or so let's see, make sure I'm where you can see. So this is what was blowing out to. It had a spot for, this is it right here. So it had a spot for feet on a passenger side, feet on driver's side, and then this would have gone to the feet in the back seat. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use feet. Obviously, it's, you know, it's just the middle. It's just it'd be just in the center of the truck. But I'm gonna block this off altogether. So I'll cut this piece off. This piece is limiting me from being able to go up under the dash. You'll see here in a second. And then I'll get the stock 61 defrost hooked up to this piece here. Defrost is, to me, it's the most important. When I'm driving around, whether it's summertime or in the wintertime, I don't know if I'm weird or what the deal is, but I always have the setting at defrost and feet, so it's like half and half. And as long as my feet are warm and the windshield's clear in the wintertime, I'm golden. And in the summertime, same idea. As long as I'm getting some cool air up around the top and then down at my feet, I'm good. So to me, that's all that's important. To you guys, if you're doing this, you're probably going to want to get into a little bit more depth of how you're going to get vents, you know, coming out the dash or whatever you want to do. To me, I don't need this. So I'm going to block this off. First I got to cut this, see how it fits and all that jazz. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Let me get a grinder together and I'll get ready to do that. Alright, got the grinder ready. I scribed this mark right here because a guy can screw this up and get too deep, right? So I figured out, you know, where this is at. This door is at under here, and I've scribed this mark. So I'm going to cut there. I'm going to cut along just above this little seam right here, so that I can always grind down to this base wherever I'm gonna mold it, patch it up. I don't know what I'll use yet, but I just don't want to go too deep too soon, right? So here we go. And like I said, benefits of having a trash can as a workbench. Okay, so there we go. It's still ugly, obviously. We'll have to clean it up, do something. But now I'm gonna take you guys and I'm gonna take this thing over to the truck and we'll see how it fits. Okay, we will see how this works out, because I'm just trying different stuff. I just realized I need to take this off right now, so I've got to go get a wrench. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. I'm gonna take this deal off real quick. So hopefully this all works out, because if it doesn't, by the time you guys watch this video, well, if it doesn't work out, you probably won't watch this video, because I probably won't post it. I'm not sure if I'm interested in posting my failures, but so far it's gone up and under the dash a lot further, which is cool. Yeah, I mean, that's not, great, but it's a lot better. I mean, the old one was down here. It just wasn't quite as ugly as this, I guess. But that's gonna work, I think. This piece, I'll explain this piece here. Well, you can't see it, but rearrange things. I'll rearrange this camera real quick. Hold on. Okay, this is a little bit different view. You got a little bit more close-up view of what we got here. So this right here is outside air coming in from the cowl, from up above at the base of the windshield. So air comes in up there, comes along this channel and comes in here, and then the heater unit blows it, heats it, sends it out into the truck. In the car, that air intake was from up top. It didn't come in from the side. So this is the piece that I have for that I need to try to somehow fit up in here. What it does, you can see the back side of it, maybe. So it pulls air in and then sends it to the fan in the engine compartment at the firewall, and then blows it back in on the back side of this piece. So for this all to work, this has got to sit next to this piece along the dash up in here, which is a whole nother challenge in itself. However, being able to get that underneath there, nice like that, that's a win to me. I'm happy with it. I still have some, I gotta do more, cleaning it up, getting better fitment, and then I've got to figure out the engine compartment piece of this, the fan, and that has the AC condenser. What is it? It's in that. I'll show you that next, because I've got to try to. That thing's gonna have to be cut too to try to get it to fit correctly. Anyway, that's what I'm gonna work on next. some of this is going to take some doing and a little bit of time to try to customize this and make it work. So that's where I'm at. Anyway, up here, basically, I don't know if you can see, there's that piece we just fit in, and then this is where the fan will draw air from. So it's quite a bit of work yet to do with this thing. I'm gonna just keep after it and get you updated. So that's where I'm at. Alright, I'm gonna try to get you a little bit of a quick update here where I'm at. I've got all the parts and pieces sitting here on this piece of plywood. See if I can explain this with any. This is the inside pieces. The pieces cut that off of. This piece would go there on the inside. It basically hooks up to this. This is fan motor. It's not in there. I pulled it out. AC, and then blowing into the truck. So the problem that I'm having right now is that this motor is higher than this piece here, and in the truck I need this side to be higher than the motor. So my plan is I'm going to cut these two free from each other so that I can mount. Basically I'll reattach them, but I'm going to try to mount them separately. So I'll mount this one, and this is going to be mounted higher, and then I'll have to do a bunch of I don't know, plastic molding, however I'm gonna do that. But I've got to get this piece higher up on the firewall for this inside piece to be higher up inside the dash. So maybe I can give you a little bit of an idea of what I'm talking about here. If I get this thing sitting in here. And this is just mocked up. This isn't obviously not. Let me get a hold of this camera, sorry. Okay. You can see right here, it's hitting that pinch weld, that lip. And you can see over here how low it is. This piece needs to be up higher. So this is going to be quite a bit of work. In the end, I'm really hoping that it's going to be worth it to have done all this. I'm sure it's going to be worth it. It's just going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot to try to, remold those back together and all that jazz, and it's going to be a lot of fabbing, trying to get those pieces to fit inside the truck firewall. I am going to use some of the car firewall. You probably noticed I have that. It gives me the holes already, and bolt holes, things like that. Some of those I'll have to remake, but I'm gonna cut that down to mold and shape and fit into the firewall of the truck, and Try to get this thing to fit. It is a little bit overwhelming, but I'll get it. This is gonna take me a bit. So I don't know where I'm at as far as time wise on this video yet, but this is probably gonna be a two-part deal. I don't see myself getting this done, or even close to done, probably today. But any rate, this is a part of the process of what I'm wanting to do with this truck. You know, the guys, they put the cab onto the chassis, and they get all this comes in, you know, this, it's part of the car. And so when they put the chassis, when they do the chassis swap and they put the body of the truck on top of that car, then essentially they have everything that the car has. You know, they have the AC and they have the motor and everything. I'm trying to get as much of the benefit of the car as I possibly can without swapping chassis. So because that's what I'm trying to do, it's a lot more work. It's going to be a lot more work, and I'm okay with that. I got some time. I'll get it done anyway. Hopefully it's not boring to you, and hopefully I'm helping somebody else with their build, and you're you know, getting some ideas on how to do this, and you get a better handle on it before you get started. So, hey, Ray, I'll give you an update when I get a little bit. I'll try to film as much as I can, but some of this is just thinking, and it's like, what am I gonna do? And anyway, all right, here we go. We're gonna go for it. So first one I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut right down that bend and that, and then I'll turn it and next spot and whatnot. Well, committed now, huh? Okay. All right, huh? Doesn't want to fit in there. Hold on. Left a little wrench in the truck. Had to go get it. Let's get those out for a second. Nothing like feeling like you're just cutting something up and just yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm cutting down. No doubt about it. Oof. decide how I want to do that piece. I want it to go along there. See, this is going to go up. So reality is this piece right here is probably going to cut out completely so that it molds straight across, because that's probably the amount that I'm going to go up right there, you know. So I'm gonna cut right there. Yep. Boy, that's pretty ugly, but we'll get it. Okay, got it. I couldn't get the grinder in there with the wheel, so I just did the old-fashioned hand saw thing. Shouldn't be too long, because I missed the spot back here. So we'll do the whole saw thing. There it is. Okay. So basically this is top right here. So I'm wanting this to be down a little further. I don't know how far, you know, it's probably 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. So, and then I'll just somehow shape that, pull that back together. However I gotta do it, make it work. Next thing I'll do is take it over to the truck and see how I can get this to sit on the firewall and this as well, and see how it fits on the firewall. So let's go do that. Here we are. So there we have it. So I can get that up a lot higher. I'm looking at these two holes right here, these little holes. Making reference to those, the two big spots where the heater core lines come out on the inside. I was lining them up. They were really close to here. So you can see I'm just shy of that. And it's because I'm hitting right here this bolt, which I'm not as scared to cut that off, which I probably will. And then here you can see, I don't know, hopefully you can see, this was right here, and now we're needing to be down like this. So it's doing good. So I like that. I'll have to do two things here. I'm gonna have to cut this off. I'll have to figure out another way to mount it, another mounting location. But this little spot is right into this corner. It wants to be back over here. So I'm gonna wind up cutting that off. I took the hood hinges off. I gotta paint them up anyway, so I thought, well, I'll get them out of my way so I can mock this up. The next thing that I probably should show you is, if this was put back together, you can see there's a step here. Let's see. Anyway, there's a step between this one and this one. They're not in line with one another. And I was gonna say that I have the dash, and so I was just gonna put that in there, but I'm starting to wonder if maybe I can just, when I mold this back together, mold it back together like that, but I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out, but at any rate, that's gonna fit better now that I'm gonna cut this off real quick and then check it again. Hold on. Alright, got that cut off. That helps me a lot. Look at that. I don't know if you see that. There's those two. They're exactly right there. Whoops, there you guys go. Falling over. That piece fell down, hit the base of the. Alright, I like that. So I think that's gonna work out for me. And whether or not I have that little step in there or not, I don't know for sure yet. I think it's gonna work out better if I have it, but I don't know yet. So I'll work on trying to figure that out yet. But anyway, that's that. I'll check on the inside and see how it looks. All right, so now we're inside, back inside the truck, and I'll point out these are the two holes on the outside that I was talking about that lined up with the two big holes for the heater hoses. And now, if you'll, can you see that? I don't know if you can see those two right there are the two heater hoses. Now if I set that right, so I'm eyeballing it from over here, and those are right behind there, and it's sitting exactly where I had it earlier. So that's not terrible. I like it. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to proceed to see how I can make this happen. And get back to you. Alright, I got this sitting in there like I want it, but I need to see, I got a gap. So I'm going to send you guys in there to tell me what that measures. Is that an inch? Whatever it is. At least you'll tell me here in a second, and then we'll both know. Well, leave a comment what you thought that was. To me it looked like 1 1/8. And so I came over here, so I'll try to do this here. So this is, here's the firewall out of the car. Okay, this is the outside of the firewall out of the car, and you see the step in it. So I just took a square. I don't know if I can do it with and hold this camera at the same time. Probably shut it off for a second and stand you guys up. Okay, there we go. So I did this and measured this, and that right there is right at 1 1/8. So you can see it. See if it was the same number you just looked at, but that looks like the same number. That's 1 1/8. So I need this step is what I'm trying to get at. So I'm going to try to incorporate this into the firewall of the truck. we'll figure out how we can do that here in a second. Alright, I got after it and didn't do any videotaping after that last clip. I got the thing in there, I cut the firewall and got it in there. It's gonna take a lot more to get it finished. It fits pretty good, it looks pretty good in here. There it is. I've got a bunch of fixing to do. This piece, actually, I'm probably gonna have to roll this. There's kind of like a hump right here, and I'm gonna have to get rid of that. I'm gonna have to just like roll it up to that in order to get that piece, this piece over here to fit. I'm happy with it. It doesn't stick down terribly far. It's gonna be a real bear to fit in there when the heater core is in there, because so it doesn't fit, you know, the heater core lines when they're running through. It's not going to allow me to go up to get in there. Anyway, so that's going to be really tricky getting this thing in when the heater core is probably going to have to like fish the heater core in through the firewall and then lift this thing up, you know, over top of the heater core. It's going to be a tricky thing to do, but I'm happy with the way it fits in there. As of right now, I'm not happy with the work that it's created for me in regards to metal work. I got a lot of metal work to make that all look good. It looks terrible. If I was just videotaping just what I have in there in regards to the firewall, it's ugly. So I have a lot to do yet to make all that proper and look correct. I mean, you can see it. Look at, yeah, that doesn't look good, but it will when I'm done. Now, I don't know if you can see it right over there. A couple of tack welds, but like right up in here, you know, this is gonna have to be pulled together, fixed up. Any rate, but so for anybody else who's trying to do this, the Crown Vic firewall matches that piece back in the back, and so then there was that 1.8" step, and that's over here, and then that brings the remainder of that Crown Vic to fit right here at the, I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Once I get it all shaped up and welded up to where it's presentable. It's not presentable right now. I'll try to explain that a little bit more, so a guy knows where to get started and what he's looking for in regards to how to get that, incorporate that Crown Vic firewall into the 61 firewall. So anyway, that's gonna wrap this up. So subscribe to this channel, that helps me out, and like it if you like it, and comment if you got something that you want to talk about. Let's talk about it. So at any rate, that's gonna do it for me. This is gonna be a two-parter, or I don't know, maybe three-parter. I don't know. It's gonna take me a minute to get this figured out or get it finished up. So anyway, that'll be it for me. Have a blessed week, and we'll see you on the next one.